All right. So thank you, everybody. Welcome here. I actually have Christina Smith with me, and how we got involved with each other is actually we're in a Facebook community. And the reason why we got or how we got into the Facebook community was actually through an affiliate program, which actually puts entrepreneurs together, entrepreneurs who actually help each other, and they're not really competing against, each other, but they're actually helping each other. And she is actually, will actually get more into this, but I think as far as I know, she's actually a newbie online, and she's learning how to do all of this stuff, pretty much, firsthand. So I wanted to actually sit down and interview her, and just to let you know, you don't need a ton of experience because the Partner with Anthony program will actually show you and train you exactly how to set up your business and how you can do everything online. So the floor is yours, Christina, and just kind of tell us, about your background, why you got into affiliate marketing, all that stuff.
Well, hello. Sometimes you get these points in life where you're plugging along, doing your thing, working, and things happen. So right now we're in the middle of the pandemic and we're all hanging out, and all of a sudden, boom, your job's gone. And you don't always have control over that. And when are you going to take that control back? And so right now, we're going back and forth with labor unions and whether we're coming back, whether we're not coming back, all that good stuff. And you know what? Honestly, I don't like having my well-being in everybody else's hands. So, I really decided to kind of look around. I have an Etsy shop. I do 20 million different things. So that's just the way life is anymore, right? And, so I decided, hey, the world is changing. It's been different for a long time. And really everything now is all online, right? Brick and mortars are going bye-bye. In my local town, we've had a lot of businesses close. And it's kind of one of those, okay, let's, don't be a stick in the mud, let's, venture out and do something a little bit different. And let's go learn those skills. And, I know them just because I use the products, as far as online, you use the YouTube and the, Facebook and all the different social medias, but you don't use them normally in a day-to-day basis in the way that like network marketing or affiliate marketing is going to use them. So there's a little bit different. So learning those skills, I'm always looking to improve upon skills and then use those in different avenues.
All right. And so I guess as far as, I didn't know that. I wasn't expecting that pause. I thought you were actually going to keep going. But so actually, I know you talked about control. So exactly, I guess for a lot of people out there that are working a 9-to-5 job, how has, I guess, transitioning or actually starting your business online giving you control over your life? I mean, what are the benefits of actually having an online business?
There's a lot of different benefits as far as, you set your hours and, in an online business or anything else, you've got to work, and that's all there is to it. It's not something that you just go, it's not magic. You make the magic. And that's what it comes down to. You learn the skills, you put in the time, you do this stuff. But at the end of the day, the magic you created is yours. You control it. You decide. You figure out, how much you want out of it. And then you turn it on its head, and that's what you put into it, right? Versus working for somebody else. You work for somebody else, you go in there and you work your 9-to-5, you put in that extra 3-4 hours, whatever it is you need. And you get a pat on the head, and maybe you get a raise. But it's all up to them when that happens, right? They put the ceiling on it and say, well, you know what? We've only got 40 hours to offer you. We've only got 20 hours to offer you. And that's just the way it is. Too bad, so sad. And it's like, okay, let's take that back. I'm not okay with that. I really am not. I'd prefer to be in control of the situation as far as, I'm going to get up and I'm going to put in my 10 hours, and I'm going to put in my 10 hours for me. I'm going to put in my 3 hours today because I've got all these other things. So that control goes to many, many different parts of your life, right? Where the ability to, navigate your personal life, your work life, your financial life, and really be in control of that versus somebody else telling you what you're going to do, how to do it, and when to do it, right? So that's kind of what's pushing me to kind of step outside of, the regular everyday stuff, everyday employment.
Yeah, that makes that makes perfect sense. And I know I want to actually touch on, just as far as you were talking about, as far as just using social media, I guess, for browsing and personal purposes. But I know that you kind of transitioned out of that, I guess, once you, started your business online. So I guess let's talk specifics about how has the Partner with Anthony program allowed you to actually see that social media is not just necessarily, just to socialize, but also you can build a business online. And I guess what I'm specifically asking is, how has it given you, has the Partner with Anthony program given you, ideas and tactics and ways that you can actually, not necessarily browse, but as I heard somebody say, browse with a purpose. And, what does that mean for you? Or how have you transitioned, I guess, your time on social media from, I guess, a personal aspect to a business aspect?
I think the biggest thing is you cruise through your social media, right? And you just kind of scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, and then you stop and see what's interesting and things like that. And with the Partner with Anthony program, here's the deal. So, in years past, I've tried different social media platforms and, programs. And like I said, I'm always looking to learn new things. And that's, to me, that's the fun part of life, right? Is that you learn something well, and then you either really, really like it and you keep it, or you move on. And so like when I started doing stuff maybe 10 years ago, the social media platforms weren't anything like they are today. They've completely changed, right? And the way that we use them has completely changed. So, before you had it's like email, right? We all remember AOL, you got mail. And, the movie Sleepless, and it was like, oh my God. So things have drastically changed, right? Now you've got your email where you can get it over here, over there, up here, down there. It's everywhere, right? So it's in a constant state of flux and change. And, when I've tried things before, boy, was it tough. If you didn't have a programming degree, it was really hard to work through all the technical issues and get through it. And, a lot of times people you'd get into a program and then you just get dropped. And it was like, I don't understand this. And getting that help and that community and everything else, that's a huge, huge game changer, right? So with Partner with Anthony, what really attracted me to his program was the fact, one, it was, the initial outlay was definitely doable. And it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I got to come up with thousands of dollars and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Oh, no. Nothing like that, right? It was affordable, it was doable. And the best thing is the first word, right? It's partner with Anthony. And he truly is your partner in that the amount of training, just going through, I'm brand new, right? We already talked about that. I'm on session 7, and I haven't even scrolled down to see, there's 40 sessions, right? And I'm on 7. So that tells you just how new I am to this program. And in just those 7 modules, I have had more aha moments like, that's how it works. Well, holy bejesus, that is so cool. And you know what, whether you take these skills and, put them towards this specific program, you're learning these incredible skills. You can use them in so many different ways, right? I've learned more about Facebook than I've known since I was an initial user. And so, there's a lot of things with the program that go beyond just the affiliate marketing piece, right? There's a lot of great information, how-tos, working through those little issues. Start here, do this, do that, and you see the logical sequence of things. And I am one of those people that, I love to know where the heck it is I'm going. Somebody tells me, I've got friends that love to get in a car and just go wherever, right? I'm not like that. I like my roadmap. I like to know that at the end of the day, my plan is to be in X city at X hotel, and we're having dinner at this restaurant. As long, I can be flexible, don't get me wrong, but I still like to know what my goal is. And Anthony's just right there with it. He gives you that big picture. This is where we're headed, but to get there, we've got all these little steps to do. And that's what this whole thing works out to, right? It's the big elephant in little bitty pieces, manageable pieces, digestible pieces, logical pieces that you can understand, put into practice, and see those results. And that's where I'm at, is I'm putting those little pieces in, and it's great. I mean, I've got my email program set up. I've got my, click funnels and all that those pieces, and integrating them together so they work. And before, that training, that knowledge was missing, which made it really difficult to, progress through anything. Because you were always on help, calling tech support. Can you help me, please? And, you're number, 10,000 in the queue. And that doesn't work, right? So you just get frustrated and give up. And at this point, I'm not frustrated in any way, shape, or form. I'm having more aha moments than anything else. And that's great.
And yeah, I know you mentioned, as far as we've gotten, I guess a lot of people, even I have, in the past, where I've gotten into a program, I paid for a program, and they just give you the big picture. And as Christina just pretty much said, Partner with Anthony not only gives you a big picture, but it actually gives you a roadmap, in her words, of how you're going to, get to the end result. And not only that, I mean, a lot of other programs and stuff is like, well, we need you to do, this, we pretty much, they give you a big goal to try to accomplish. But the thing with Partner with Anthony is they pretty much break it down, or Anthony breaks it down into smaller pieces. And he's like, well, here's a goal right here. Like, set up your, your email list, which a lot of, programs and stuff, they'll be like, well, just start sending emails. But Anthony, he kind of takes it a step back and was like, well, wait a minute, these people may not, have, know how to set up an email list. So how can you send an email if you don't have, an autoresponder and all that stuff set up? So, Anthony actually breaks it down. So if you are, a new beginner, even if you heard Christina say, I know a lot of people, actually Anthony mentioned this on, might have been the last Success Connection, which that's our actually Thursday night trainings that he has every week, which you get access to as well with Partner with Anthony. But he actually mentioned where some people, actually pretty much just lost my train of thought, but yeah, so it actually, you pretty much go from he actually gives bite-sized pieces where you can actually set everything up piece by piece. Oh yeah, that's where I was going with that, because a lot of people actually make excuses and they'll say, well, this program isn't for me because I don't have a lot of experience. Yeah, you did hear Christina say that she did purchase other courses and stuff, but Christina, I want them to hear this from your mouth, because obviously it's a lot better to hear it from multiple people, because I always tell people this program is for beginners. Anthony says it's for beginners, but just to hear it from somebody else, even if you did not have any other, I guess, background in purchasing courses, or you haven't tried to purchase courses, with Partner with Anthony, would that be for somebody who was like fresh out starting, no pretty much nothing about online stuff? Because I know you mentioned that you understand a little bit about what it takes to build a landing page, or or to connect some of this stuff. But I mean, obviously, because you said you tried to do it before in the past, but now it seems like it's a lot easier. But even with that, you really don't know the tools and stuff to use. But even if you were a beginner and had no knowledge of starting any type of doing anything online, would Partner with Anthony be for a specific person like that? Like if, I just saw an ad on, Instagram, or wherever I saw an ad on Facebook or YouTube or anything like that, if I clicked the button and got into the program, would this program help me actually start immediately?
Absolutely. And here's why. When you get started, Anthony doesn't throw you under, what I call under the bus. In other words, it's like, holy smokes, like I've got to know all these things. His approach is a little bit different in that, first off, he tells you why. So you're going through, the training module and stuff like that. And he always tells you why you're doing what you're doing. And he helps you to logically look at it and say, okay, I'm not just putting in this link here And I have no clue why I'm doing it. I just am. But because when you learn the why of anything, you absorb and you get true knowledge, correct? And that's what you need. So whether you take Partner with Anthony and the knowledge and you build an affiliate marketing program or a business with it, right? Or you're a dentist and you're looking to build your business, and because you come out there and like lawyers, they put up their shingle and they hope for the best, right? You build it and they'll come. And it isn't the same out there anymore. You really need to understand the social media platforms. You need to understand how they work, how to get out there, and that's how you get your customer base, right? So with Partner with Anthony, what I'm finding is that there's very logical steps that go through. I say that a lot, logical, right? And there's a theme there, in that the theme is basically, how many times has somebody told you, oh, just go do this? And so you go do it and you get some results, right? Like, okay, well, my landing page is up. That's great. But I have no clue why I did it. I mean, I kind of do. It makes some sense. But Anthony really gives you like the why. So you go build this page, and Anthony lets you know that, okay, so when you build this page, and we did all these little things here, here's the big picture. This page is going to go here and it's going to go there. And those pages are going to talk to each other, and you're going to be able to have the ability to do this with it and that with it. And it's like, oh, I get it now. And when you know the why, right, it makes all the difference in the world, right? You're not constantly in a state of surprise. And it's like, okay, we got through this step. We've got that done. Let's move on to the next thing. And we're going to tie it all together. Perfect. For me personally, that works wonders. And I know a lot of people that ask me questions, want to know how to do something, that whenever I teach somebody, if I give them the end goal, like, okay, great, we are going to, we're going to learn how to use this email so that you can X. You can send out these to all of your customers on regular in this manner, and you're going to be able to follow up. That's an end goal, right? It really is. It's what's that end picture. And so with Anthony, he really does that for you and with you, right? And he plugs you into not just the one program, which Partner with Anthony, it's your baby step. Let's start here. But he plugs you into, like you said, we have the trainings on Thursday night, which are, live, and, you get to listen and learn, something you may not be ready for right now, but that's okay, because you get to hear what might be coming up next. And as you're stepping into where you're at this moment in time, you start seeing that, oh, okay, I see how this is going to reflect later in what I'm going to do then, and the community and everything else that goes on. So, Partner with Anthony is more than just an affiliate program, and that it's those building blocks that are huge. At least for me, they are.
And yeah, actually, I never really thought about this until, that's why I like having these interviews, because you actually touched something where you said Partner with Anthony is not just an affiliate program, but the way that you're explaining it is, it's actually a course that is teaching you. So not only are you just going out there, just promoting affiliate products, but you're actually understanding, as she said, the why, as to, if I do this, or, why I am actually promoting this course. But not only are you, promoting, Anthony is actually teaching you how to promote, where not only can you just promote his products, that's not necessarily what it's all about. Anthony says plenty of times, actually, he just said it on our past training. He was like, stop going to buy all these other programs and stuff and just use what you have. It was like, I don't care, if you purchase my products or not. If you're not using what I have or what you have, then you're not doing anything. He was like, you're just accumulating knowledge, and you're not advancing, and you're not, getting any results. Actually, he kind of, well, this is kind of what I say, it's like you're a legend in your own mind. It's like, you think that you're,
I am a legend. I want you to know that. I mean, trust me, I am.
Well, I'm not talking specifically, about you,
I
but I mean,
know.
I'm just, everybody else, your thing is like, well, yeah, I can do this, I can do this, but it's like, what exactly are you doing? So I'm glad Christina pointed that out, is actually Anthony is actually teaching you, how to, promote affiliate products, and not just his products, but, actually I've seen some people talk about how the information that they have learned in the Partner with Anthony program has allowed them to actually help other businesses, and actually
Hmm.
go out and help other business. Like a lot of business owners don't know how to collect emails. They don't know how to set up
No, and
landing
that's what I
pages.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning to you,
yeah.
or talking about, is the fact that it isn't just about affiliate marketing, right? Any business anymore, where we're at in our society, and how we're moving along, it's all online, right? It's all social. So like I said, if you're a dentist, if you're a lawyer, if you're whatever business, and you are the face of your business, if you're not marketing, you're just in this itty bitty little circle. It's really your 3 mile radius of wherever you hang your shingle, right? And that's not really a sustainable business model. And these skills that you're learning, and when you're first starting out, right, most people, it costs them just about everything to hang that shingle outside their business and say, here I am, I'm open. Now they got advertising, they've got all these things, and this really allows them to understand the knowledge to how to promote their business. And some people say promoting, and they feel kind of like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like promoting. I don't like selling. I don't like, ew, yuck. They really get that visceral, not me. But here's the thing. Selling is, if you look at it that way, actually selling is just informing people, giving people information that they can in turn look at it and say, hey, I need that product. Hey, I need that service. So that's what selling really is. You're just matching somebody up with something that they're already looking for, or that they need, or that they will need in the near future, right? And so you got to kind of take that sales part and go, it's not your schmarmy, ideal, what you think sales is. And we all kind of get that picture of the used car salesman running out the lot. Can I help you? And not letting you go ever. You're mine. I'm going to attach to you like a leech. And, so that has to change. And so the Partner with Anthony program really, is giving me the little pieces and parts to get to that future why. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you're going to use it for affiliate marketing. Hey, you can make money with this, right? If that's your goal. Or is your goal to help your local bakery? Is your goal to help your local dentist office? Whatever. But you need that knowledge. How do you connect an autoresponder? How do you build a sales funnel? How do you add this part, the click funnels, to this responder? How do you do domains? All those pieces and parts that when you get down to the nitty gritty, that's where it's all at, right? Because if you can't make it work, it does you no good. It's just a piece of the puzzle that you don't have, and you don't have that finished piece. It's like, oh, that wasn't very good. So that's what I'm finding, and I'm really loving the program, and I'm just cruising right through it. And when I run into a problem, or I get to something I don't understand, I might be sitting here in my little office, which my office, it's crazy. But you know what? There's so many people to reach out to. There's, our Facebook group, the Success Connections. There's tech support. There's, sending emails and getting people that just reach out and say, yes, absolutely, let me answer that for you, or let's figure it out. And we all learn together, which is really, I'm only at session 7, and I'm already, plugged in and dialed in to enjoying this program and seeing what I'm really going to get from it.
And
Back to you.
yeah, let's say as far as saying session 7. I mean, how many days have you actually been in the program since you joined? How many because I guess just to put a little time frame of how much information you've learned in like, you know, amount of time. So, I mean, has it been actually, because I know, well, actually, just to let you guys know, when you do hop into the program, the content is actually released every 24 hours. So you have to complete one course and then it's actually released. So you won't have access to all 40 courses, which Anthony did that on purpose, or actually, yeah, on purpose, because I actually talked to him about that. He was like, the reason why I did it this way was actually, you know, I've released programs in the past and people just skip ahead and they don't get, you know, all the information that they need to, and they end up, you know, pretty much not succeeding, not doing anything with the information. So he was like, with this course, I'm actually going to release it, you know, piece by piece, tit by tit, kind of like, you know, what Christina was talking about, you know, step by step. But with each one of those steps is really, you not necessarily, I mean, yeah, you can skip it ahead, but you're not going to get access to, you know, well, you can't skip ahead. I mean, you can actually go to the next course without, you know, the next session without completing the former session. But I mean, it would be advantageous to you to actually try to complete the session, and, you know, try to do everything in that session and then go to the next session. But what I'm letting you know is you don't have access to all the information at one time. So the information that she has gotten, she has not skipped around throughout the course because she can't see the actual 40 sessions. But I don't know, can you see the titles of the other sessions
No,
that,
no,
or, so yeah, I didn't know if he
no.
changed that or not, because I haven't been in there a while. It's been a while since I completed it. But there, so actually, you know, you don't get overwhelmed with information, and, you know, you actually, you know, you start one and then you just pretty much go to the next one. So actually that's, so how many days have you actually been in the course itself?
Let's see, I'm session 7. I am on day 10.
All right. So
10
in
days.
10 days, she learned all of this information. Now, obviously, yeah, she had a little bit of background, but she's actually telling you, know, that she's setting everything up. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
but you
pretty
can't
much,
count that background.
yeah. All right.
And I'm going to give you a time out there. You can't count that because we live in a world that changes every day, right? That, you know, one day Facebook does this and the next day, boom, Facebook's doing something else, or Instagram is doing something else, and they've changed it, right? So how many times have you gone to a program and you're like, stop that, stop change, I just mastered it, leave it alone, for God's sakes. And you're wishing to stop that. And so, you know, what was true 5 years ago is not true today, right? It's completely different. And, you know, so it's like, oh, wow, you know, and I'm going through it going, yeah, no, this is different. And it makes me even more thankful that I've, you know, attached myself to, I sound like a leech, I've attached myself to the alien, right? I've attached myself to this program, and it's walking me through the little pieces and parts. And you're right, it's great that we can't, and Anthony's right, that it's just coming at us in a digestible amount, right? That 24 hours. Because if you don't listen to the whole thing, you miss gold nuggets. I mean, all of a sudden he says something, it's like, oh, I'm so glad I listened to that. And if you skip ahead, you miss that, right? And that's where a lot of people get so frustrated, because they skip ahead, right? Let me skim and get to the end, and I'm going to call it good. But the problem is, as soon as you did that and you skimmed all that knowledge, that's all you got out of it. It's the cliff notes, right? The cliff notes are basically just so you can pass a test. And the test is, gee, yeah, I got my Facebook ad up. Yay, me. But it sits there and does nothing, and you get no results from it because you did not know what to do with it, right? So the surgeon goes out and does the cliff notes on the surgery, and he knows he's got the knife, and he knows he's got the scalpel, and he's standing above you, and you're all like, hey. And he's like, don't worry, I got you. I did the cliff notes. And you're like, oh no, I don't want you, right? And you want the person that took the time to really dive in and gain that knowledge and really understood it. And that's what's happening with Anthony's program. It's not, you know, here's the Cliff Note version. This is what do A, B, C, and D, and you're going to be successful. No, because he's not selling a lie, right? A lot of times, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like affiliate marketing. Oh, I don't want to learn this. I don't want to do that, because they've been sold on a lie in the past. Somebody has come along and been the schmarmy salesperson that we all hate, right? Or that we don't like, and they've been burned. You know, I've been in programs before where it's like, okay, oh, you know, your sales pitch was great, but your follow through was crap. And with, you know, partner with Anthony, you know, I'm getting a totally different picture. I actually at this point feel like it's doable. I'm going to, at the end of this, come out of it with a working business model. And then I can turn around and go out and apply it the way it should be. But here's the other thing is that you're applying it as you're learning it. So when I'm done, it's not like, oh, learn, go build the business. Learn, go build, right? I'm building as I'm learning. So when I get to that final module, my business is going to be up and running. And then it's like, hello, I was here in session 10. I've got it started. And that's the beauty of it. And it's the hare did not win the race. Who won the race? The turtle. Yeah, the turtle. And that's what you got to remind yourself every day. It's the consistent actions you take, right? You don't lose 100 pounds like that. It would be nice. Tell me, you lose an ounce at a time. Piece by piece. And so that's what you're getting with Partner with Anthony, is you're building your business while you're learning, piece by piece by piece. And that's what's important. So at the end of it, when you're all done, you've got a working business and you can do what you really want to do with it.
Yeah, that's interesting you touched on that, because actually, I guess for like the past 70 days now, I actually started running. So I try to run a mile every 70 days. Yeah, that's what I said like, too. Especially the first day. But then the reason why I started doing it was I actually read a book by David Goggins. And he's actually, I guess, a Navy SEAL. He's like, he's a motivational speaker now, but he was a Navy SEAL, and then he was like an Army Ranger, and he did a whole bunch of other stuff. I think he's like the only person who actually I guess we're in multiple, I guess, special forces within the United States Army or United States military. But anyway, he actually talks about how, you got to do the things you hate. And I really don't like running. I hate running. But because of, me going out, running, I pretty much, I have lost weight, which he kind of talked about, which he lost a lot of weight in a short amount of time, but he put in a lot of work as well. But he had to consistently do it. And I always remind myself, it's like, the hare didn't win the race, because I'm not the fastest person. But I think, if, you just consistently just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep running and don't stop. I mean, you hear Anthony talk about this too, because Anthony, he really doesn't necessarily just talk all about, business stuff. He talks about life stuff too as well. Mm-hmm. And he pretty much says, if you absolutely don't stop, you'll win. I mean, he said, if you never give up, then you're going to win. So that's constantly, what I think about when I run is like, if I don't stop, I'm going to, complete the race. I'm going to, finish. I'm, constantly going to, as long as I keep moving. And not only, am I running, but my kids and my wife are running as well. Well, my kids walk and run every now and then, but my wife, she hates running too. So I got her into it as well. So now, that's I mean, just, as far as just doing that, I mean, if you consistently, constantly just, like Christina was saying, chip away at it each and every day, chip away at your business each and every day, do piece by piece, then eventually, you will have this, whole business, set up. And then, I know she mentioned about, I know we're getting ready to close up real quick, but I want to touch on this point real quick, because I know she's talked about, connecting stuff and all this stuff. And it seems like, there's a lot to do, but there's really not a lot to do. I mean, well, actually there is, but you do it piece by piece. So it doesn't seem like a lot. Like, I know she talked about, the elephant and, step by step, but I heard somebody once say, is like, how do you eat an elephant? Is like, one bite at a time. It's like, how do you build a business, one piece at a time? So, the different thing is, as far as, with Partner with Anthony, actually shows you how to build, your business piece by piece in different segments. But I also want to touch about, as far as technical skills, you really don't need a lot of technical skills to, to build an online business. And Partner with Anthony showed you that. We talked a lot about, Anthony teaches on ClickFunnels. I know that we mentioned ClickFunnels in this interview, but Anthony Christine actually shows you how to use ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is like the number one brand or business as far as making sales funnels and everything like that. I know before in the past, Christina somewhat touched on this. You had to actually, know how to write
You
code and
had
all
to
that stuff.
have a degree in programming
Yeah,
before.
that's true.
It was horrible. It's so
but
much better now. You just click and drop, click, drop.
exactly. And
That's all you're doing. It's a game changer.
I know
You
she
know,
talked. Yeah, she go
it's a
ahead.
game changer.
And she talked about,
Absolutely.
building out pages, but really you can have a business set up literally within seconds. I mean, once you get a ClickFunnels account, actually we have, and I know she does as well, she has funnels that we can give you. And just by the click of a button, you'll automatically have a landing page up on the internet where you can actually have a business and you can be branded immediately within seconds. So, I mean, you can go from no business, no internet presence whatsoever to having a business within a matter of, just seconds, or I say seconds, but I mean, at least minutes, however long it takes you to fill out a form and all that stuff to get on ClickFunnels and all that stuff, and then just hit with a click of a button, you'll automatically transfer into your account and you will actually have a business up and running. And as far as setting everything up, it's really just drag and drop. I mean, if you can actually access your email, if you know how to delete an email, then you know how to use ClickFunnels. I mean, that's pretty much the same concept. You know how to open that email, then you know how to use ClickFunnels. That's pretty much, just drag and, click. And then if I know a lot of people, maybe a lot of people don't know Canva, what would be something else that they would actually, you can compare ClickFunnels to, like a Paint. I mean, if you know how to use Microsoft Paint, then you can pretty much, use ClickFunnels. I mean, it's pretty much a program that everybody can use. So, ClickFunnels is pretty much the same concept as that, just drag and drop, pulling different images and everything. There's nothing complicated about it. So the thing is, you guys, PWA actually sets everything up where you can just build everything online. I mean, Christina's already explained that to you, and there's other interviews and everything on there that actually, we talked about pretty much the same thing. But you need to have an online business and an online presence because, that's where Christina even mentioned that everything's transitioning to, everything's going online. So let me actually end up with this question here. So actually, if you were to have a superpower, Christina, what would it be? What would that superpower be, and why do you want to have that superpower?
Well, I'd be like Dr. Strange. And like you can move time around. And then I walk around and mess with everybody, right? Like, oh, I'm going to switch this on you. That ability to, just control the time factor, right? Everybody else has control of your time. I want control of my time. And, so yeah, Dr. Strange.
That's cool. That's cool.
All the way.
So I guess the reason why is so you can have more control of your time. That's the reason why.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you got big dreams, things to do. Let's go do them.
That's
Get
true.
her done.
Yep, that's true. And mine is along the same lines as that. I know that I told the other guy that I interviewed, Michael Smith, I kind of told him, I was like, yeah, so I want to actually have a superpower where the more work that I do, it would give me more energy and I wouldn't have to sleep. So I think sleeping is a waste of time. So, I mean, because you really don't get much done when you're sleeping. Actually, really nothing. I mean, as far as just rest. But I mean, I wish there was a way that the more work I did, I would actually get more energy and it would rest me up. That way I wouldn't have to rest anymore. So that's what I want. But thank you, Christina, for the knowledge that you shared. Even, I mean, you heard this from a new person who just got online and is actually just
you can do it. You can call me a newbie. It's okay. She's a newbie.
Who just hopped
I
on to
accept that title with pride and love. Let me tell you.
Yeah, so you're not an expert or a guru yet, as far as just.
No. But tell you what, I am an expert and a guru in a lot of other things.
That's true, and even I'm not an
and
expert.
I will be eventually.
Yeah. So I still think that there's a lot that I don't know, so I'm still a newbie in certain aspects. So there's nothing wrong with being a newbie, but the thing is, she hopped on here and gave her expertise of what she knew. What she does have an expertise, even though you may not feel like you're an expert or a guru or anything like that. Even you guys out there that are listening, I mean, you have a certain amount of knowledge. Christina right now could actually go and help different businesses. She knows how to generate emails. She knows how to build email lists. She knows how to set up landing pages. She knows what tools and software to use. So she can help business owners because there's a lot of business owners that are out there doing different things. There's a lot of people out there who don't know. I mean, she can even help people just in, other affiliate marketers who are not doing a lot of things. And I guess you see her, Kay, I don't know what happened with there. She kind of jumped away. But
somebody's trying to call me,
oh,
get some more guru advice. That's all there is to it. Had to tell them
that's
to go away, get in line.
That's good. See, she's already given out information and everything, even though she just hopped into the program. So just to let you guys know, you don't need a ton of experience, a ton of information. Just get started. And all I heard Anthony say this too. All you need is just a little bit more information than the person, a person that under you, or even a person who doesn't know anything at all, or even maybe just to know a little bit. As long as you have a little bit more information than what they have, you can help them, you can assist them, and that's why it's called partnering. So not only are you partnering with Anthony, you're also partnering with us. So we're not actually going to necessarily leave you, in the dark. If you have any questions, you can email us. If you hop into the program, wherever you see a link at, on whatever page this is on, or posted on her page, my page, whatever, just click the link and then hop in, and then just reach out to us and let us know if you have any questions, and we'll be there to answer. Even though the support is good, because we somewhat touched on that, but I know based on a lot of other programs, it takes, as Christina mentioned, a long time to get on support. You got to hop on the phone call and anything like that. But I actually made the comment the other day that there's a guy who was actually in Anthony's or owns Anthony's support team, and he's actually answering questions within the Facebook group. So I told him, it's like, Matt, actually his name's Matt, but it's like, you're a support machine. It's like, you don't even stop. It's like, because technically most support people don't answer questions inside of a Facebook group, which Anthony actually put a post on there. It's like, this is not the place to, put support questions. He said, you can put questions in here and expect students to answer, which they do, but Matt was actually in there answering questions. So that was, a pretty cool thing to see. But not only is he in the Facebook group, but he's also, you just send the email and he responds within, I think they say 24 to 40 hours, but most of the time is within hours that, pretty much he responds, because they actually ended up showing, I guess, their response time to support tickets and stuff like that. And a lot of people don't do that, but Anthony actually had a lot of support tickets as well, where he answered them, and then Matt as well. But that's pretty interesting. So the support is good. So if you have any questions, not only can you email support, but you can also email, Christina or I, or anybody else you get into the program with, and then you can also, put them in the, chat box in the group. So there's a ton of places where you can get support, so you have no excuses to sit back and do nothing. But I thank Christina again for hopping on here, and let's, keep in touch and see if you can actually develop that superpower of Dr. Strange, because if you do, I want to figure out how you have done that.
Maybe I'll share. Maybe I'll give you that little piece
I'm
of
sure
knowledge.
everybody will
I'm
pay
gonna bottle that.
You'll be, a billionaire, a quadrillionaire, pretty much, if you have that, because everybody will pay you any amount of money. So thanks again,
Exactly.
Christina. And
Absolutely.
it was a pleasure. Yep, thanks. And actually, let me end this real quick.
Have a phenomenal day.
All right. You